One of my mutuals shared a journal prompt that she had done. And the journal prompt was basically for you to describe your life. And when you do that, you cannot mention any relationships, marriage, dating, boyfriends. You cannot mention anything having to do with dating or a romantic relationship with a man in any way. A lot of us as women define our lives by, oh, that was the year I met Jimbo. This was the time I moved to this state to be with Bilbo Baggins. This period of my life, I married Johnny, and we live in a sewer, and asked people if they could float. Various things like that. And I love this journal prompt because it forces you to look at your life and highlight who you are as a person and your accomplishments outside of being somebody's wife, somebody's girlfriend, somebody's fiance, or what you did for those men. And I think that's a journal prompt that all of us women should definitely do. For some of us, it's going to be easy. I know you're God's favorite and you lived your life perfectly. I don't have any cookies to give you at the moment, but you'll have to remind me next time I go to the grocery store. I'll get you a couple. But for a lot of us, that's going to cause us to really have to sit and be like, interesting. And it might cause you to feel feelings of anger or regret. It might cause you to be proud of yourself because you really did do a lot of stuff and you caused it to be diminished because of your relationship with a man, whether that relationship was good or bad. I think there will be some women who were like disappointed that they can't define anything in their lives without it being into a relationship with a man. And unfortunately, there might be some women who are proud of the fact that they haven't done anything outside of being a man or that they can't describe who they are in their life outside of being with a man. And some women might be very proud to be the wife of Jason Voorhees. Totally fine. I'm going to put a wish out there into the universe that you can define yourself outside of that. But whatever you find, regardless of how it makes you feel, I hope it ultimately leads to an awakening and being proud of yourself. That might happen instantaneously and it might take some time. But we are so much more than husbands and boyfriends and fiancés and exes. We are so much more. We are so much more. And for bonus points, for extra credit, I want you to describe your life not just without mentioning a connection to a man. I want you to describe your life and you cannot mention your children. This is not to say before someone says it, I'm going to block you because you didn't take a second to breathe and listen. How rude to not listen to somebody and cut them off. That does not mean you don't love your children, okay? My goodness. An identity outside of children is villainized. That doesn't mean you don't love your children. It doesn't mean that you wouldn't and don't do everything for them. My children are spoiled. I love them. However, I just want women to develop who they are outside of romantic relationships and motherhood, because one day your children, granted health issues that aren't lifelong health issues, for the most part, most of us, our children are going to go off on their own one day. They're going to get their friends even before they're old enough to go off on their own, and they're going to want to hang out with their friends. One day, your beloved partner will pass away, I don't know, or become incapacitated with some kind of illness or something. I don't know. But one of the biggest reasons it's so hard for women to deal with having an empty nest or a partner passing away, outside of the grief of simply loving someone. I'm not talking about that or saying that that is wrong. It is not. Or dealing with the end of a relationship. One of the biggest reasons it's hard for women to heal is because that is all we ever knew. And we did not have any hobbies. We didn't even read a book outside of anything having to do with being married or being in a relationship or having children. So for those of you who enjoy writing, or maybe you don't want to write, you're not a writer, maybe you're just a thinker, just think on, if I had to describe my life to someone and my accomplishments and the places I've been, and I couldn't mention children and I couldn't mention a man, a romantic relationship with a man, what would I say? What would my life story sound like? That's definitely something to think about.